Hello guys, I'm Luis Macias and this is my new application, Fitment Calculator. One of the quickest ways to give a car a touch of personality is with new aftermarket wheels. With new wheels comes new fitment depending on your preference of style. The most common styles of fitment, portrayed here from left to right, are poke fitment, flush fitment, and tuck fitment. Getting the best fitment for you comes with its struggles. The main struggle is finding the correct wheel offset for the style you want. Offset is the distance between the mounting face of the wheel and the center line of the wheel. The left picture, we can see examples of positive offset, zero offset, and negative offset. Here on the right, we can see examples of how different offset wheels fit on a truck. You may be thinking to yourself that there are websites where you can input your car's year, make, and model, and you'll receive a list of wheels that will fit your car. The problem with these websites is that they will show you a very literal list of any wheels that will fit your car. This means you will be shown many wheels with the same diameter and width as you desire, with different offsets, and you don't want to invest in wheels that are going to fit perfectly how you want them to. Here's a list of wheels that fit a Nissan 350Z, but as you can see, there are many offsets varying from a positive 22 offset to a positive 38 offset, and we have no idea how either one will fit. And this is why I created the application Fitment Calculator. The goals for this application are to cut down time that it takes to calculate the offset needed for your new wheels and to remove all guesswork that comes with choosing wheel and tire sizes because that can be a very expensive mistake. To use the wheel offset function of the app, you would need two simple measurements. The first measurement is the width of your new desired wheel, and the second measurement is the distance between the mounting face of your wheel hub and the outside edge of your fender. If you have inputted these two simple measurements, you just need to click calculate and your new wheel offset will appear underneath. To use the tire calculator, again, just need a set of easy to get measurements. First, you will need the size specifications of your old tire, which can be found on the sidewall of your tire. Second, you will need the diameter of your new wheel and width as well. These can be found online when searching for wheels, or they can be found behind the wheel in small lettering like the image on the right. Here I have an example of how to use the offset function in Fitment Calculator to secure a flush fitment. In the image presented, we have a vehicle lifted securely on jack stands with the wheel off. You can also see that there is a long pry bar being used as a straight edge against the fender of the vehicle. A level was used with this pry bar in order to make sure it was perfectly level. In this image, we can see an example of the only measuring that we will need to do. This is the measuring of the distance between the mounting face of the wheel hub and the outer edge of the fender. Here we measured a distance of 3.5 inches or 89 millimeters. Now that we have our measurement, we just need to input them into the offset function of Fitment Calculator and press calculate. We received a wheel offset of 12.59. I rounded up to 13 instead of rounding down to 12 because I didn't want the fitment to be too aggressive, which means I don't want the wheel to stick out too much. Of course, this all comes down to preference. Our final wheel size specifications resulted in an 18-inch diameter wheel with an 8-inch width and an offset of 13. These images are examples of those exact specifications, and as you can see, the wheel resulted in a flush fitment. I created this application with the IDE Android Studios, which allowed me to use the Kotlin language to code my backend and extensible markup language, or XML, for my frontend. My greatest takeaways from this project are that I now most definitely know how to calculate wheel offset, unlike before this project, where I found it very difficult. I learned how to code in Kotlin, which shares many similarities with Python, and I learned how to use separate files like a strings file in order to keep things efficiently organized. And lastly, I learned how to use the functions of Android Studio to code the back and front end of Android applications. With this project, there were a few accomplishments. Fitment Calculator is almost fully completed and ready for public use. I solved an issue that I personally struggled with and that I know many still do struggle with as well. And Fitment Calculator has already been used by a few volunteers to calculate their desired fitment. I give special thanks to Professor Deanna Wilborn and my Berea College Capstone peers who helped me with very helpful information to overcome roadblocks. I also want to thank Android Studios and Android developers.